It's Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness!
Welcome one, welcome all, back with another NFL preseason. One of the last shows that we will do, Kurt. We only got one more day of NFL preseason, but today we have something even better. It is actual real college football. We get Notre Dame and Navy at 2:30 in Ireland. So I'm actually super pumped about that. Should be a good time. We got all the college football goods on our website. NFL 20% off for life here at runpuresports.com. Make sure to get in right now. That deal does drop down in a few minutes, so that will be great. Kurt, how are you doing today? I see you have the early playbook up as well. We can gloss over the early slate, spend a couple minutes there, and then talk about Maine. But first, how are you doing?
Doing good. Busy Saturday. 3 playbooks done for me today. I'm going to have the main slate right here done as soon as the early slate starts. It's been fun. FIBA's been fun. Been absolutely killing it on Prize Picks. DFS has been a little wacky, but I know we're going to absolutely attack the people, the game log watchers here soon. So last night was good in preseason. Again, I had a little sweat on FanDuel, needed DOS and TDP probably get in the end zone. Didn't happen, but still a profitable day. Like I said, been bankroll building all along. We plan to do that again today. And then I'll be going to the Bucks game this afternoon with the family. So I've been in Tampa for 2 football games, and I'll go 2 for 2. And I've gone every single one so far. So happy to be home.
I noticed. I saw the first game in Baltimore and Tampa. I said, all right, we might get some inside connection. You'll be able to scout out which players are in the game or not. You know, you'll get to see if Sean Ryan is active for the Ravens after I stressed about that all last week. But yeah, it should be a good time. I do say the FIBA stuff has been electric. You went, what was it, like 4-1 on bets yesterday? I know that was pretty cool. I think it was
1, and I think I only lost 1 again today.
Yeah, perfect. And I know that I've seen that. Those props are all available on DraftKings and stuff. I was shocked that basically it's not just Prize Picks you're getting value on. You're also going to DraftKings. You can get those together and stuff. So that makes a great time. Enough about basketball. I want you to talk to me, spend 2 minutes, just quickly break down the early slate for anyone who would be interested. And then we'll move on to the main slate afterwards.
So not a lot of smash quarterback spots. Like the Vikings are going to have 2 quarterbacks, Jaron Hall and Nick Mullins. They'll both split a half. We need to monitor the Buffalo situation. If Barkley's out, Kyle Allen should get the entire game, which he's not great, but the entire game is big. We don't expect Josh Allen to play. And then we're going to watch the Seattle situation. If Drew Lock got banged up week 2, if he plays, he should see 2.5, 3 quarters. If he doesn't, it'll be the entire game for Hunter Ehlers. So possibly 2 situations where we see guys play the whole game. And if both the news breaks wrong, I'll probably just lay on the Vikings guys who will be getting a half as long as nothing crazy happens there, like Kirk Cousins decides to play, which he shouldn't. Running backs, Chicago didn't sign a running back and they're banged up, so it looks like Roshan Johnson and fullback Robert Burns will get the load. Green Bay, we still got that battle between Emmanuel Wilson and Patrick Taylor. I'm going to go there. Chandler should get the entire first half from Minnesota. Everywhere else is just a GPP play. I have it in the playbook if you want to peep that. Jake Bobo should get a majority of this after Seattle again. I'll go there. And then tight end, I'm going Jay Sternberger. That'll be a little early recap for you guys.
Yeah, that's perfect. You guys want the full access to the early playbook, make sure to sign up at runpuresports.com. 20% off for life with code NFL20. You got a complete playbook up, kind of just quickly going over the slate. And yeah, you got the team news as well. So that would be huge. If I'm getting Hunter Ehlers for a full game, Kurt, I'm not passing that up. I'll have to get in on those 5K to first pull right there. That'll be fun. Mm-hmm. We also have a main slate tonight. It is also 4 games. This should actually be a little bit of a fun slate. I was surprised to see it's 20K to first because with the college football prize pools filling, like what, by the way, like 12 hours early almost. It was just crazy. Yeah, I'm shocked to see 20K to first, but I'm very happy about it. We got a 1 game here with Baltimore Ravens and Tampa Bay kicking us off. We're going to go game by game, team by team for anyone who's watching today. And I do want to address this real quick. We do have a college football stream today. It'll have Big T, Mangone, Bruce, and I. It'll be about on site. It's a premium show. Just wanted to kind of let you guys know about that. And Kurt, talk to me about Baltimore. We'll start with them. Their winning streak is now over. What should I expect today?
So it looks like we're for sure going to have just the 2 quarterbacks, Anthony Brown, Josh Johnson again. Both split last time. Should see about the same thing, a half and a half. I'm leaning Anthony Brown just because I like him more. But Josh Johnson has honestly looked pretty solid in preseason. So you can go either way there. Probably one of the better situations we have today besides Greer playing the entire game for Dallas. We'll talk about that later. Running back, Melvin Gordon didn't practice. Baltimore's been awesome with news, so that's nice. And plus, I'll be at the game. But Melvin Gordon didn't practice yesterday. It could be one of those random veteran off days, but I don't know why you'd rest him because he's battling for a roster spot. But I think we'll only have like 3 backs if he doesn't go. Justice Hill, who I think is a lot roster lock, so I don't know why he would play much. Keaton Mitchell, who is getting up there. I mean, they're going to have a tough decision to make it at the running back position. I think Melvin Gordon's gone, so maybe they give him run. I don't know. But if there's 3 running backs here, I think I'm going to run out Keaton Mitchell again. But still, it's just may just be a stay away because I don't know who the hell is a roster lock and who is not. Maybe you just play Owen Wright and just get the whole second half of like 2 yards in a cloud of dust. But
yeah, I think that's crazy. Is the Keaton Mitchell looks electric every time he gets the ball. He was the same way.
So got to be a roster lock, right? So we shouldn't play him today.
Well, that's the thing with the Patriots wide receivers yesterday. Keyshawn Boutte and Demario Douglas. Demario Douglas sat to begin the game, but then Keyshawn Boutte played one snap or one drive and then sat the rest of the game. Could the same thing happen here? But if Melvin Gordon doesn't play, and it's going to give Owen Wright the entire game.
Exactly. So we need to watch close. I'm sure they'll have some type of intel, unlike the Patriots did, because the Baltimore's been really good about it. But yeah, I think if Melvin Gordon's out, I don't think Owen Wright will get a lot of ownership. Maybe he falls in the end zone.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it could definitely be a case where Keaton Mitchell gets to showcase his talent in the first half, and maybe they branch off to it. Like, hey, let's get Owen Wright some burn. We don't want to get any injuries and stuff. I mean, obviously, any injuries right now, you're definitely in doubt for week 1 and maybe longer. So, yeah, that would be huge. And these wide receivers, I mean, are we going right back to him after last week? Prochet, I mean, he had a chance. I mean, he had a couple chances, and obviously he didn't pan out last week, but we did get Tylan Wallace into the end zone. And is Sean Ryan going to be active today?
I'm not sure yet. I didn't see anything about him practicing yet, so probably doubtful. I know Treadwell should be back, but maybe they both return. I don't know. We'll get, like I said, we'll get the news for that. If they're both in, I'll go right back to Sean Ryan and Treadwell. I don't mind that because I mean a lot of those other guys last week got a big burn, so maybe this is their chance. Sean Ryan, Treadwell, I have interest in. If they're both out, I will jam Tariq Black. I will jam Prochet, and then Tylan Wallace, who continues to just get nothing but red zone targets. So you got to have interest there. But if everyone plays, probably just Sean Ryan for me, as I think they'll need to give him a better look.
So obviously, I was on Charlie Kolar last week.
Oh my gosh!
It was Travis Volkolek who got 2 touchdowns last week. Kurt, am I going right back to the tight end spot for the Ravens here? And am I going right back to Kolar because I like Payne?
I think I want one of these guys. I'll know that. Like, it looks like one of the better tight end situations because, likely he's not going to – I mean, why would they even run him out there much? He's a little banged up. Obviously, Mark Andrews isn't going to play, so it's just 2 guys. Like, and this offense uses their tight end a lot. So I think I'll play both. I want to probably even right down the middle exposure to both. I think Kohler, you have to think he does something, right? Come on.
You have to think so. And are they the top 2 tight ends on the slate? I know we still got
they have to be.
Teams to talk about.
I think they just have to be. With how involved the tight end is for the Ravens, with only having 2, which is definitely the only team on probably the slate today that only has 2. So those would be my top 2.
All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and move on to the Bucks. So obviously you got some fun with Trey Palmer in week 1. Trey Palmer in week 2 also got there. I mean, Trey Palmer, is he a lock to make the roster? I know I don't mean to skip to wide receiver immediately, but we had Raheem Jarrett played really well last week at no ownership. I think he was 0.54% owned. Obviously they had the injury to Gage, but I mean, this wide receiving core, I mean, we've been kind of playing it all preseason. Am I going right back to it, Kurt?
It's a big room. I don't know. I mean, if you want like a GPP play, one of the 3 between Jarrett, Palmer, or Kalen Gager is fine. But I don't know. I just don't see Palmer playing much. They're not even going to give Kyle Trask much run here. It's only going to be like 2 series for Baker. It's going to be all John Walford in the second half. So honestly, I kind of like Gager. He's been playing a lot. Jarrett's good. Obviously, Jarrett and Palmer are both more talented, but I think Gager gets extended run here. So I'm going to lean Kalen Gager. I'll be at the game, so I'll probably bump his ownership a little more than I should.
Yeah, no worries at all there, too. So, yeah, talking about that, you say that Wolford will get most of the second half trashed. You think should play most of the first, right, after Mayfield plays the first couple series?
Yeah, first couple series for Baker, and then the rest of the first, whichever's left, will be trashed, and the whole entire second will be trashed, and then supposedly going to give away to John Wofford for the whole second half, which, man, it's John Wofford.
So you've heard that Sean Tucker might be splitting some carries with the first team. Is Sean Tucker someone that you can look at tonight? I mean, they split the snaps very evenly in week 2, it felt like. And I don't know. I mean, are they going to give the chance to Sean Tucker? Maybe, hey, show us what you can do. Maybe you can win the second fiddle to Rachaad White. Or am I just staying away from this running back room in total?
I'm staying away. I think there's going to be 5 guys that get snaps today. It's just a stay away. Tucker can obviously have a big splash play. He's looked really good, but I'm playing preseason. I want opportunity. Even if I've been burned by that a little bit as far as not being able to sweat because some guy plays 5 snaps and scores. It's hurtful, but I've been bankroll building off just playing the guys that will see the most opportunity. So I'll be fading this running back room.
And that's not a bad way to live preseason by at all. We'll move on to the tight ends here. I mean, after seeing the Ravens tight ends, I don't want to play any of these guys, do I?
No, just way too many. I'm really disappointed in what we've seen from Payne Durham, especially as a Bucs fan. I thought we'd see a lot more, but nothing. It's kind of hurtful.
Yeah, no worries at all. We'll move on to the next game right here. So it is Miami Dolphins versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is going to be interesting. It could be almost a full game for Skylar Thompson, right? If Tua just plays the first couple series and that's it, then we kind of get a situation similar to Malik Willis yesterday.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. I love playing Skylar Thompson in preseason, even though he sucks. But Tua probably play a series or 2. And if they score in the first series, then it'll probably only be 1 series. And then we'll get the entire rest of the game for Skylar Thompson. Mike White dealing with concussion. And Miami's history, they will not be messing around with that, especially in preseason. So Skylar Thompson will get majority of the snaps. Probably the best quarterback play on the slate. And then receiver room still pretty thin. I'll continue to play Eric Uzama. I can't pronounce that last name, but the guy from Texas Tech, River K-Craft. Barrios play a little bit too much I wish he wouldn't have played so much last week because then K-Craft would have got like 50 snaps. But both those 2 white guys in the slot, you can play them. Cedric Wilson's fine if you need a pair. I don't mind having one. I mean, Skylar Thompson's not an accurate passer, but I don't mind having one of these Miami guys to kind of pair with him. If you get that connection, you're kind of mint. Kind of like we saw yesterday we didn't pair him, but talking about the Detroit situation, I forgot we didn't need to play him because Willis news. But I was originally going to have Teddy B with Antoine Green or someone else. But yeah.
Oh, and Antoine Green absolutely nuked the slate yesterday. So am I right in reading that Cedric Wilson, the guy they gave a bunch of money to last offseason, is playing a ton in this preseason?
Yeah, it's wild. But even Robbie Anderson / Chosen playing a lot too. I mean, it's because their receiver room is so thin. They just haven't really cared to give somebody like Kiki Coos is probably a special teams guy only, so he's not really playing many snaps.
Wait, hold on. Robbie Chosen is Robbie Anderson?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, baby.
All right. I thought that was just some random rookie or some shit. I did not know that was Robbie Anderson. All right. Well, I will say Cedric Wilson probably seems the one I'd most want to stack with Skylar Thompson if I went that route. I know that we haven't gotten to Will Grier yet, who you're going to talk about a little bit later. But with the amount of snaps, 3 targets last week and stuff, I could definitely see that stack hitting. This running back room looks really thin. Obviously, Chain got thrown to the ground like a rag doll. And will probably not play this week, I don't think. Is it just going to be a 3-man backfield for the most part? I mean, is it going to be a lot of Gaskin potentially, or is it going to be Ahmed and whoever?
So, Gaskin, you have to imagine he'll get back into the fold here, but it's going to be a 3-man backfield. And Skylar Thompson's loved throwing to these backs. Both the backs got touchdowns last week. So I think just from that aspect alone, especially Ahmad really involved in the passing game, I think you can play one of these 3 and feel pretty confident that they're going to be one of these 3 will also be playing. No, they won't. But, yeah, they'll get all 3 quarters, probably a quarter each, a little more. So I have no issue with that. Probably lean Ahmad. He looked really good last week.
I like it. Let's move on to, you know what? Let's just mention it for the people. Tight end room looks gross. They don't
Too
use the tight
big.
end offense. Yeah, perfect.
Too big for me.
All right, Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars, this is interesting, right? We could get some playing time, kind of similar to what we saw with the Washington Commanders last week. Maybe they play a lot of these guys. Could it be Ridley? Could it be Kirk? I mean, is it viable to play Bigsby or ETN? Talk to me about the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight.
So I'm not playing any of their backups. I'll let that be known. This is where I'll attack some of the starters. I think you either play the starters here or you completely fade. So obviously that means Trevor Lawrence is in play, Calvin Ridley's in play, Kirk's in play, Jones is in play. I tank Bigsby because he's been getting some snaps with the ones too. Travis Etienne, obviously all those guys are in play. I want to set a rule with – I know Washington went the other way, but if Jacksonville comes out looking as good as like Washington did, they're not going to keep their guys out there like Washington did. So I would probably limit it to Lawrence and one guy because you get three, like then you're just screwed if they have one good drive. Kind of like how the Steelers did. They're supposed to play a lot and they played 2 drives because they were so good. And then you were stuck with a 0 from Freiermuth and all that stuff. So I'd probably limit it to just 2 of the starters. And then you hit the right nut too and you're good to go.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, we've obviously seen how good starters can be going against these backups and stuff. The Steelers-Falcons game looked like varsity versus JV. So I do like that. No Nathan Rourke fun today, so that's a little disappointing. But this is kind of quick to break down, like you said. I mean, you mentioned with Pat Freiermuth, obviously he took a 0 when we played him a couple days ago. But Evan Ingram, I mean, up to, could that be something that you're interested in if he's getting about 4 or 5 series?
Yeah, do a little Trevor. I think in that case, if I do Trevor Lawrence and Evan Ingram, I could throw in like Kirk, and maybe Kirk gets 5 points. Like Kirk gets him down there, or Calvin Ridley gets him down there, and then Evan Ingram gets a short pass because tight end you don't really need much. Whereas if I'm playing like Trevor Lawrence and 2 receivers, or Trevor Lawrence and a running back, that 2 points could kind of hurt. So Evan Ingram, I'll take, and that's the only situation where I would play 3 of the starters.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and move on to the next game then. Let's get the Raiders and Cowboys. So the Cowboys have probably the most interesting consideration for quarterback today, right? Greer is getting 100% of the snaps today. And I just realized we'll go to Dallas first because I'm partial to Dallas. I do think that if you're getting a full game out of Greer, almost a full game out of Skylar Thompson, why would I be interested in anyone else, Kurt?
I agree. I think that's kind of how you got to do it. Unless we get news. Now, there's a chance that we get news that this week 3 games get wacky. So there's news we get a chance that someone else plays the entire game. But as of right now, where we stand, yeah, definitely those got to be the top 2 quarterbacks. The running back situation, I messaged Rico to kind of ask, hey, how many snaps do you think you're going to get? Have you locked up the 2 spot? It's probably just going to be Deuce, Malik, Rico, unless they give this Hunter guy snaps. I really hope they don't. But you got to imagine the first 3 quarters will be those 3 guys and how much they really value Deuce. I think we've seen enough personally. But I don't know. Week 1, besides Deuce, I got kind of hurt by Rico and Malik because they didn't punch it in, and then I was kind of shit out of luck. So we need to monitor what they're going to do. They've been pretty decent with news. We should know. But not a must here at the running back situation. Receiver, Tolbert had an awesome game last week. I think he'll continue to be targeted. Simi Fehoko didn't do much with his targets, but he was targeted 4 times. Can go there. And then tight end, even though we like the other situation a lot more, I think Shoemaker's fine to go back too, as well as Peyton Hendershot. But they have a lot of tight ends, so that's large field GPP plays only.
I like it, Kurt. I do love the Jalen Tolbert mention. I like the Simi Fehoko mention. I mean, there's Greer getting a whole game is different than Malik Willis playing a whole game. I didn't need to stack with Malik Willis, and I ended up having Chestnut and Willis last night to make me back some money. I was in first there for a little bit late on in the day. But the Malik Willis to Chestnut combination hit twice in 2 weeks. But with Greer, I feel a little differently. I can definitely I feel the urge to almost pair him with a wide receiver. I feel like Tolbert and Fehoko are both very viable. I mean, you might tell me differently in this last game, but we haven't seen any standout wide receivers so far on this slate. So I can definitely do a min of 1 Cowboys in my Greer builds, right? A min of 1 Cowboys wide receiver.
Turpin's another guy.
Turpin too.
He's definitely going to make the team. I don't even know if they've been having him return for preseason because they know he's got the job locked up. So they're like, I'm pretty sure they haven't been using him as much on the returns as he will in the regular season, but they're trying to get him more involved at the wide receiver spot just in case something does happen. Like you already have him as a return specialist. Might as well get him, if you need to throw him in the slot, have a special play for him in open space because the guy is electric. And maybe he does return a couple today. Maybe he takes one to the house. I've been saying it all preseason. But yeah, Turpin's been, he's been running a lot of routes. So maybe they're trying to work on that.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good point.
Can I mention the Will Grier situation?
Yes.
So they came to him and they're like, look, we're cutting you. We just signed Trey Lance, or we just traded for him. We're cutting you, but you're going to play the entire game. But after
I just put 2 and 2 together there. Yeah, no shit.
You will not be with the team. Yeah, they told him that.
Shit.
That's what's been reported. A source close to the situation said that's how they broke it to him. That's good on them. Like they're giving him a chance to go out and put stuff on tape. So it's not really mean to them. It's good on them to like let him. They have no like investment to him. So that's good on the Cowboys for doing that.
All right, I like it. So yeah, Grier cut by the Cowboys tomorrow, playing 100% of the snaps tonight. Yeah, I like that. You already spoke just in depth about the Cowboys completely. I do want to mention our guy Rico Dowdle is a Fortnite legend, and that you've played Fortnite with him and Bruce together at the same time. So shout out Rico Dowdle. Let's get on to Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas situation just seems a little bit messy. I don't know if we have really any news to kind of work by. I mean, as of right now, we don't have a ton to work with. I mean, are you interested in the Raiders unless we get news?
No, there's too many other spots for more snaps. Like Aiden O'Connor, if they came out and said Aiden O'Connor's just going to get the whole game and then they signed Garbers and they're just going to keep him on the practice squad, I don't know. But it looks like if Jimmy plays, then we might see 3 quarterbacks possibly. To stay away for now unless we get news Aiden O'Connell's playing the entire game.
Yeah, I think Aiden O'Connell looked amazing last week.
He looks so good.
Yeah, he's a really good player. I mean, it's honestly nice to see. Obviously, it was really good in the Big Ten. I mean, yeah, Fotheringham didn't do anything for us last week. That was a little bit tilting because, I mean, I had Fotheringham and I think my best team. So maybe if we were talking about the tight end position, but like you said, there's so many bodies here. I mean, there just really is. It's not really worth trying to guess who's who when we already have news on other teams. We already have clear situations. I do want to mention, just because their wide receiver room is a little bit more thin, Christian Wilkerson was a play of the day for Snyder last week, I believe. He also scored. That could be someone you could work with. I mean, Keelan Cole isn't the worst. I remember I was talking about him last week. I mean, there's options of players who we saw already play. We've already talked about them in previous weeks. We just don't have news to work with right now. And that's why you should get into the Discord. Code NFL20, 20% off for life, runpuresports.com, and also get access not just to NFL preseason, but also to college football and every single sport we offer. Kurt, let's move on to the last game here. It is a barn burner between the Los Angeles Rams and the Denver Broncos. For the Rams here, I'm kind of happy with the fact that Stetson Bennett played almost the entire game last week. Am I going to see the same thing here again?
One more thing about the Raiders situation. Probably my favorite wide receiver room. Keelan Cole, Wilkerson, all those guys, like you said, I'm going to go right. I want at least one of them again because even if they play the starters, that room is really thin. So I at least want one Raiders wide receiver. Philip Dorsett even had a big game last week too. But with Stetson Bennett, I don't know. Like we know for sure the other guys are going to play like almost the whole game. Whereas here we don't really know. Like it could be 3 guys, could be 2. Even if it's 2, like we have better situations out there. Stetson's look really good. So if you want to, but I'll personally be going to the other guys.
Yeah, I think, I mean, what was it? Sean McVay played coy with us. He didn't play Lance McCutcheon last week. Puka Nacua didn't play really at all. I mean, he played the same 3 dudes the entire game. I don't see Sean McVay rolling out his starters. I just think he thinks preseason's worthless. This is it. This is what I'm going to do. I'm interested in guys like Tyler Johnson, Austin, and let's see. Let's check who got the snaps last week because it was literally only 3 wide receivers who even got any work, Kurt. And let's check it out. Let's see who got the targets. It was Davis Allen with 8 targets. Who the hell is Davis?
Tight end.
Well, why am I not locking Davis Allen at tight end, Kurt? After 8 targets last week.
They still got a lot of other guys. Like that's what's crazy. I guess he was just playing run. He might have been manning the slot a lot. One of those tight end hybrid type situations like
Tyler Johnson, 7 targets. Tyler Johnson, 7 targets. And then
Marcus Robinson
7 targets. So Robinson, 7 targets, Johnson, 7 targets, and the tight end Davis Allen, 8 targets. I mean, if I'm not getting any news from the Rams, I'm definitely going to just say, fuck it. Sean McVay is going to do the exact same thing that he did last week. I'm just going to play these tight ends, Davis Allen. I'm going to play Tyler Johnson. I'm going to throw in DeMarcus Robinson. Like, why not? I mean, he's shown that he's done it in the past. He's played out, and I'm not going to call him scrubs, but he's played out the third, fourth stringers, the entire game. I think he could do it again here, Kurt.
Agreed. I think that's how we proceed. I think Tyler Johnson would be my priority for now. And then if we get news, something else changes. But for now, just Tyler Johnson. You can mix in some Davis Allen with those other tight ends. Probably my favorite 3 so far. Boom.
I like it. And now our last team, and it's the Denver Broncos. Obviously, Jerry Jeudy blew out his hamstring and made me depressed over the week. But we have a little bit of talent here. I mean, I don't think that the starters are going to play much. I think Stidham is like a quarterback situation. We've already talked about it. It's Skylar Thompson, Will Grier, basically, right? I'm not interested in really any of these Broncos starters at all. I mean, if there's anyone I can be sold on, could it be Michael Bandy, the legend of 2022?
Wait, am I tripping? I thought
No.
Kansas City.
What?
Am I tripping? Or are we not playing? Are they not playing Kansas City? Oh, yeah, they played the Broncos. Whoops.
Yep.
Where did I see Kansas City at?
I don't know. You threw me off completely with that.
Yeah, whoopsies.
Denver Broncos. So obviously, you might not be completely in the loop on the Broncos. This team just looks absolutely awful. I do like Tyler Beatty, that running back out of Mizzou. I think he can catch the ball. He can run the ball. And Jaleel McLaughlin is just an absolute stud, apparently. He got 2 touchdowns last week. I mean, is it just the running back room here, Kurt, for you?
Yeah, I'll keep playing McLaughlin. I'll keep playing these preseason guys I want to keep getting a look at. Maybe Albert O, but no need. So, yeah, I'll keep playing McLaughlin. So many wide receivers. Even when they're hurt, it's still just a kind of a gross situation going on there. Little Jordan Humphrey. They'll probably due for a preseason touchdown, though. Large field GPP play.
Little Jordan Humphrey. What a legend. I just think these snaps have been so gross for the Broncos.
They've been pretty bad.
So, yeah, I think we covered it all. I mean, no better time than to get into the best play of the day for you, Kurt. Kurt, give me your week 3 Saturday play of the day. It's the second to last one for preseason, baby.
Man. Do you want to go first? I need some time.
Yeah, I really want to go first because I want to play a dusty-ass tight end again. I don't even know. I just heard of this dude 10 seconds ago. Let me check out his I can't say it right now. He went to fucking Clemson, and he's a rookie. Yeah, you know what? I'm already down. He went to a good school. He went to a big school, Kurt. He plays for the Los Angeles Rams. He's fresh off 8 targets last week. Sean McVay loves to play the bench guys, and he's a 5th-round pick. They want to see what he can do with his talent, with his hands. Give me Davis Allen, play of the day. The dusty tight end play of the day after 8 targets last week. If he gets 6 points, I'll give away a week subscription to anyone who comments into the chat, not the live show chat, but comments on the video below. Gets a stat line, the closest one to get to a stat line, assuming he gets, 5 fantasy points, will win a free week of Run Pure Sports.
I'm going to go Miami wide receiver to pair with Skylar Thompson, Eric Uzukanama.
All right. I like it. You can pair it with Skylar Thompson. We also have the Cowboys wide receivers too. Makes it a great situation to stack today rather than yesterday with Malik Willis, where there was absolutely no need to do it. So, yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense. For Kurt and for me, everyone have a great rest of y'all's day and good luck tonight. And be sure to use the code NFL20 to get into our Discord and website. Bye-bye.